Hey, it's me, Gorn, the Gravekeeper. And I guess I'm back from the dead now. Last time I was here, I was in some evil wizard school. I was cursed by this slard so I couldn't regain hit points, and then killed by this hag while I was pretending to be a cat. Yeah, it's a weird place, this here Undermountain. But then, well, I guess the party must have taken me back to Willow's Wood on the 5th floor of the dungeon and buried me there, because the next thing I know, I'm popping up out of the ground and, what do you know, I'm the very thing I once despised. Undead, reborn, skin partially rotted, hair all white. I don't breathe no more, don't sleep no more neither, can't see in the dark, still stink the same as I used to, but I'm here, alive more or less. I need to get back to the party. Well, turns out it was Willow herself what brought me back from the dead. She tells me that since the magic sword Tiralai was taken from her woods by the party, the home has kind of gone to ruin. There's a blight moving through the floor, she says. Cloakers, umberhulks, you name it, all sorts of horrible beasts, and she can't stem the tide alone. Nah, she wants me to go fetch that sword for her. It's the least I can do, she says, for her giving me my life back. Only, well, she didn't give me my life back, did she? Nah, it's not thanks to her that I'm here. It's thanks to Kalemvor, the god of death. He'd already claimed me as his own long before I died, but now I am fully his, a grave cleric, in service to his holiness and him alone, and he has permitted me to temporarily pass back through the veil on one condition, that I end Hallister Blackcloak once and for all. This is time, he says. The Mad Mage needs to die. See, thanks to Kalemvor, I now know that there's basically only two things in life what happens to everyone. Death and taxes. And you better believe there are folks in this world what try to cheat on both. But just like how folks should be free to choose the work they do and the taxes they pay as a consequence, they should be free to choose their lives as well, and how they die. But they don't. Not in this place. Not in this Undermountain. Not thanks to Hallister. Yeah, he messes with people's lives, messes with their heads, takes away their choice. Take Willow, for example. She might think she's in control here. She might think that she's the one who brought me back to life to get that sword for her. But she's lost here. Her life was long taken from her. She's just not dead yet. Hallister trapped her down here, gave her a fake forest to look after. It's like giving a prisoner in solitary confinement a potted plant to look after. And the worst thing is, she don't even see it. Now, everyone down here in this Undermountain has been touched by death in one way or another, scarred by the Mad Mage. And my former party's no different. By the time I finally caught up with them on the 15th floor, well, they're like the ship of Theseus. There's barely anything left of the group that I used to know. Auric, hey, I remember him, only seems he's died himself in the meantime and come back reincarnated as a rock gnome. Ember, she's new, alive too, but her life ain't her own. Nah, she's given up her life, her hopes and her dreams in exchange for chasing down her brother Lantix, who I'm pretty sure is dead himself. And finally Faustus, an owlin who, like me, is reborn, undead. Some sort of soul bounty hunter by the looks of things. Not sure how I feel about him. But we can't quibble. This is the party we have. This is the hand we've drawn. To survive this far in the Undermountain, this is what we all must become in the end. And it's all thanks to Hallister. Kalemvor, my god, is right. Hallister needs to die. Death marks me too, by the way, and not just physically. Now, my memories, they're all kind of fuzzy now. I mean, I still remember everything I got up to in the Undermountain itself, but my life from before, it's all faded. Like this dream, what happened to someone else. I think I might have been married once, and I've got these vague memories of this beautiful Duergar woman and this bloke with this golden smile, but, they're just flashes, pictures, The emotion's all gone. And even all the stuff I got up to in the Undermountain. I mean, I remember everything I did down here, the people I met, the things I killed, but it's like watching someone else doing those things, I was so angry back then. I was so rude, abrasive, I don't know. Death has this way of sanding the edges of your emotions. I guess I don't really feel much of anything now, except loyalty to Kalemvor. Anyway, when I finally met up with the party, they just finished taking down this lich and saying goodbye to some fanatical fish-loving murder robot that had been following them around. And since then, well, it's basically been one fight after another for us. We were attacked by this bunch of statues and gargoyles. We were attacked by a mummy lord and a bunch of mummies. Well, that was fun. And then we were attacked by a bunch of Duergar. All of them dispatched with satisfying efficiency, I must say. Us high-level clerics are astonishingly effective in combat when fighting against the undead, it must be said. But after this, well, Faustus cast Speak with Dead on those Duergar we met, and from then we learnt that we're finally getting close to the point that we've been looking for ever since we arrived in Skullport over a year ago. The Terminus level, the Metallic Majesty. Now I remember the name. I was like, is she there? Yes, says the dead. Skella Steel Shadow, that's her name. A Duergar queen, secretly a steel dragon who fights with a paralysing breath, and she's rarely seen away from her mount, this large metallic bull. But she's not in charge down there no more apparently. Nah, she's recently been deposed, and now this bold green giant with white feathers and glowing eyes, which I recognise from the description must be a Planetar, he's in charge now. And Kronos, our other former party member, he's down there alive too. The green one is using him to fight. Well, after this we did some more exploring, and well, after getting past this tentacle trap, I'm kind of skimming over the details here, I swear, it took us over an hour just to get past this one trap. We found this giant glowing golden snail. A golden snail that heals you when you touch it. Let me tell you, us dwarves, we like our gold. I quickly co-opted that thing as my new riding mount. I named him Eskar Gold. And while we're talking about new friends, Auric also made one. He managed to complete this weird stone puzzle that we found, and he summoned this weird goblin fella named Stamford, who it seems is very loyal and friendly to Auric, but very rude and dismissive to the rest of the party, kind of like how I used to be. Like there was this one point in the session, for example, we were being attacked, and I suggested to Stamford, real friendly like, I said, hey, you're an NPC, you can't die. Maybe you should climb onto the back of Eskar Gold and he'll ferry you up to safety. And he replied, and I quote here, I'd rather to my hand and clap. After this, we're running on empty. It's been a long time since we rested, we've had a lot of fights. And Ember and I, well, let's just say short rests don't do much to help us clerics and us druids. Ember in particular, she's getting very grouchy. She's low on hit points. She only has one single level 7 spell slot left to her name. That's it. She's tapped out after. So we try long resting. We only go and get ambushed, don't we? This very angry Dow genie, he opens a portal above our heads and he rains this bunch of Geodudes, Scalabdors, down on our heads. Turns out he's angry because the party freed this water genie instead of him. Whatever, it was before I joined, I don't care. But what matters is that Ember, sorry to say, she went absolutely crazy. She used her last spell slot to summon this massive fiery maelstrom that utterly destroyed the enemy, but also killed Auric in the crossfire. She didn't even care. I'm telling you, this place does something to you. Well, luckily I'm able to drag Auric out of the fire. I managed to revive him, and Auric comes to, just in time as well, because he sees this guy jumping down through the portal, and he runs off into the distance, and he's holding a sword, isn't he? A sword which apparently Auric's been looking for a long time. Well, anyway, that's about everything that's happened since I came back from the dead to rejoin the party. Seems it's still pretty much business as usual for this party of misfits, but we're close to the end now. I can feel it. Kronos, our former party member, the Metallic Majesty, and beyond them, Alistair Blackcloak himself. They lie ahead. Bring 'em all on, I say. Kalemvor, my god decrees that it is their time. And I have always hated folks who are late.